You're invited to a special kind of dinner party in Potsdam, New York. The guests of honor are all women whose achievements should put them in history books. Instead, some of their names risk being forgotten. That's according to the artists, who hope their collaborative art installation will shed some light on the women who have mostly remained in the shadows of recorded history. 9 sets of placemats and plates welcome guests to a dinner party where the inedible items still offer nourishment. Visitors are welcome to bring an appetite for empowerment and knowledge about influential women.
Everybody should see this to realize the importance of women in history, because especially in such rural areas as this, there's not a lot known about some of these women.
Instead of a meal, the dinner party is an art exhibit, one that pays tribute to another art exhibit. In the 1970s, artist and activist Judy Chicago created a provocative art installation called The Dinner Party, currently on display at the Brooklyn Museum. Its china plates and place settings pay homage to 39 famous figures, some mythical, some historical, and all of them women. In Potsdam, New York, members of the St. Lawrence County Arts Council planned their own dinner party to pay tribute to artist Judy Chicago, her 1970s work, and 8 women who have made a groundbreaking impact in the North Country. The exhibition bears the name The Dinner Party, Judy Chicago Reimagined. Installation curator Erica Kelso says the project commemorates female achievement and fosters solidarity and resilience within the community.
You know, personally, I think that women are a huge importance in making the world turn around. We do a lot of work, and that's often overshadowed by the work of men. And so any opportunity that we can provide to women about work that women do in our community is extremely important.
The installation in Potsdam not only celebrates the 9 women it honors, it also gave 16 North Country artists a chance to showcase their work in a collaborative project. Ceramic artist Sue Burdick Young of Jay, New York, created a bowl, collaborating with Messina High School art teacher Amy Pennington Lee, who made the place setting. Together, their section honors Chief Beverly Kyonhoito Cook, currently serving her 4th term as an elected chief on the St. Regis Mohawk Tribal Council.
She is a healthcare provider. She's a registered nurse who specializes in reproductive care, and also been very instrumental with diabetes care with her people's wellness in general. And she's also she's a public speaker. She speaks about generational trauma. There's scientific evidence that shows how that is passed on from mother to child. I just am honored to know her.
I'm a photographer, and I made the place setting for this piece, and I wanted to incorporate images from nature that are symbolic in different ways, like the moon cycle, representing like the female cycle. I included water because of the importance of water as like giving life, and also the moon controls the tides. And then the background is sort of the wind. It's the wind in the grasses, because wind gives resilience and strength.
We felt it was important to cast her hands, because I know when I first met her and she would tell her stories, she would express sometimes with hands, and she has very lovely gestural hands, and it kind of struck me that being a healthcare provider, you know, it's very literally hands-on, and especially with reproductive health and all the babies that she's caught over the years. So it felt very appropriate to have her hands as part of this. And I could sculpt them, but we thought, well, gee, if we could cast her hands, it would be excellent.
Chief Cook is among the 4 honored women who are still alive. The others include artist Judy Chicago. She's not a resident of New York State, but her 1970s work provided the template to honor the other 8 women. A collaborator on her piece says the inflatable shapes mimic the artist's bold, bright brushstrokes. This section is for St. Lawrence County resident Patty Ritchie. She served as a New York State Senator for 12 years, advocating for education and farm families.
What I really enjoy about the tapestry is how you can look at it and you know that's Patty, you know that's her pantsuit that she wears, but you also like see the farmland, and the colors and the materials that they use really encompass the work she's done in the North Country and like who she is as a person.
Kelso created a plate and place setting celebrating Sunday Smith, one of the only certified midwives in the North Country who delivers babies at home.
A lot of the things that the women in the exhibition have done are things that were very hard for women. You know, for an example, for mine, it's not really acceptable to go to midwives, right? We're pushed into hospitals to have our children, whereas Sunday has done a lot of work about bringing home births and more accessible birthing to the North Country.
Among the 5 honorees who have passed on is artist Sally James Farnham of Ogdensburg. She sculpted monumental works for high-profile locations, including Central Park in Manhattan. Also honored, the first female hiker to reach all 46 peaks of the Adirondack Mountains. Grace Hudawalski co-founded the Adirondack 46ers, a hikers organization aimed at preserving the wilderness. Much less is known about mechanical drawing teacher Harriet Leota, who designed a band shell in Norwood, New York, and helped launch a concert series. The artists behind her piece say she's been nearly left out of history, as very few written documents and facts have emerged about her. That's also the case with Flora Fry, who was one of the first Black female landowners in the North Country, if not the first.
The Historical Association has tried to do a lot of digging, and so we just don't know a lot about her. So, you know, representing her in the installation was a way that we could just bring awareness about that fact of the North Country.
This section sings the praises of a woman who became a pioneer in music education in the late 1800s.
My collaborator and I worked on this piece together in honor of Julia Crane. Julia Crane is the founder of the Crane School of Music. She established the first music education program of its kind in the world. She was offered a position to teach vocal music, and she countered it by proposing, no thanks, but I would like to establish this school to teach music educators. So it was pretty significant and a truly remarkable feat for a woman born in 1855.
Art collaborators say they're happy to celebrate the often overlooked but significant contributions of women, past and present.
There's not a lot of historical information about these women because it's usually been his story, not so much her story. And this is a chance to finally put some light on her story.
You'll find The Dinner Party, Judy Chicago Reimagined at the Creative Spirit Community Arts Center in Potsdam until March 26th. Enhancing the impact of the art project is a speaker series showcasing women in the North Country. The speakers will appear at the center on Raymond Street. You'll find the calendar of events for the St. Lawrence County Arts Council at slcartscouncil.org. And after the art exhibit leaves Potsdam, it will go on display at the Downtown Artist Cellar on East Main Street in Malone. That's from March 28th until April 11th.
Spotlight is supported by the Glenn and Carol Pearsall Adirondack Foundation, dedicated to improving the quality of life for year-round residents of the Adirondack Park.